when you find out your ex was just a dirty whore. Now this subject is, I don't know, I guess I'll just shoot it straight from the heart just like I normally do. The ex, I found out she's nothing but a dirty whore. I don't know, I guess it's a lot to take in that she's always been that way. And looking back on the marriage, if you can call that shamble that, there were signs of cheating along the way now that I look at it. But apparently I blinded myself to these things. Too dumb to see them, so to speak. If you have the gut instinct or suspicion that your woman, well, I shouldn't say your woman because like you've seen on the shirt, it's not your girl, it's just your turn. So apparently my turn's over, and that's fine with me, because since we aren't even officially divorced yet, but I know and can prove she's hopped on 2 other dicks since that time. And the one who showed up after she filed for divorce, he didn't suddenly show up. See, that's the thing. Let me give you a little brief statistic here. When a woman files for divorce, 75% of the time, she already had at least one guy on the other side she was screwing behind your back. That's just statistics. Statistics don't lie. Because when they, go away from you, now all of a sudden this other guy shows up. Well, it's not all of a sudden. It's just now she's not hiding it anymore. Now it's more out in the open. But don't worry, because it's just his turn, and it won't last, because eventually she will cheat on him too with a random other dude, because that's just how they are. Because they're cheaters. I don't know. I mean, it's a lot to take in. I know it's not my fault, even though the cheater would try to always blame you for it, when it's their choice. They choose to cheat. And then the thing too, I said to the ex-wife, I said, the only reason I would divorce you is if I found out you were cheating on me. So it makes sense why she would keep it a secret, but I don't know why she wouldn't just open up and talk and say, let's just get a divorce, because I wouldn't have said no. I would have said, let's do it. Because like I said, after a week of being married, I wanted a divorce. The only reason I didn't is because at the time I couldn't afford it, because they're pretty expensive. Because it costs money to get married, it costs money to get divorced, and that money, you as a man ought to invest it into something worthwhile besides these hoes. Man, I'm not sure where to take it from here, what direction. So again, I'm just shooting straight from the heart, because those seem to be the best videos, in my opinion. So, I have friends who have friends and know things, and we stay connected. And apparently my ex-wife went over to quote-unquote clean a dude's house that I won't mention his name, but then she ended up spending the night there. And, well, I believe that would be a form of prostitution, because there was sex in exchange for money, and I believe she's just trying to get pregnant so she can milk off the system, because that's just the thing single mothers tend to do. She's had 4 kids. Her first kid was taken away because she signed her rights over, but currently she still has half custody of 3 kids. And why would she want another kid when she isn't even a good mother to those 3 who are here? It's, you can't understand the mind of a whore. The book of Proverbs says how her ways you can know them not. You can't understand them. And that's because the whore can't even understand why she does what she does. There's no logic behind what they do. There's no reason. There's really no need to whore around, other than it just shows that she's empty inside. And I know she feels like garbage doing that, because you can't be a whore and feel good about yourself. You can't whore around and have high value, and you're not high value if you do that. It just shows that you're weak and that you give in to temptation. And I don't know if she did it to get back at me, but I don't care, because like I say, we're not even officially divorced yet. So I can bring all this up in divorce court, and it just makes her look terrible, doesn't it? It's, I wouldn't say a bitter pill to swallow, but it was like a big pill to swallow. That's the thing about the truth. At times the truth is something that we don't want to face. But if we don't face that truth, things will never get better and we'll be living in a world of denial. The truth is, it's like a bitter-sweet pill. Because, you want to know the truth, but at the same time, it takes a while to digest it. And today I talked a lot to other members of my family who this has happened to, who they've been cheated on, and they mentioned how there's a period of like grief, and then it's like you feel like you don't even know the person who you lived with. I lived with her about 2.5 years, and you just realize it isn't that they changed, it's that the mask that they wore finally cracked, and then the real them came out. So she was like this. She was a whore the whole time, and I'm not blaming myself for it because I'm not a whore. I mean, I always take the adequate time between relationships to work back on myself, to improve myself. That way I don't recreate the same exact problem in the next relationship. But she's one who jumps from relationship to relationship. And women, most women, not all, but most, tend to treat relationships as a job. Any man who has a brain won't quit one job until he has at least another one lined up. Well, that's how women are. They always have a few men on the side, so just in case it goes south with you, they always have another one lined up that they can just jump into. And then it's like they are a pirate. Imagine there's, ships on the sea and she's like a pirate. Well, she'll jump on one boat and hijack it and then destroy it, and then it gradually starts to sink, and before the thing is completely submerged under the water, then she'll jump to the next boat, the boat being the relationship, or you could call them ships, and view each ship as a relationship. And rather than have the relationship work, she'll just do her same thing, eventually destroy it, and then jump to the next ship, and do the same thing, destroy it, jumping to the next ship, and do the same thing and destroy it, jumping to the next ship. And that's what they do for the rest of their lives. Just dirty whores. I mean, there's no other way to put it. It's, I view it as, well, now she's their problem. And they better enjoy their turn because it's not going to last that long. That's a popular saying in the MGTOW community, and it's so true. That she's not your girl, it's just your turn. So if you are those guys out there who my ex-wife is screwing, well, enjoy your turn, because eventually she's going to cheat on you the same way she cheated on me, and the same way she cheated on her baby's daddy, and the same way she cheated on whoever else she was with. So if you keep this in mind, if the woman you're with now cheated on her ex with you, that's just how she is. She's a cheater. And eventually, she's going to cheat on you with somebody else. If you think you can get with a whore and reform her, have her to see the error of her ways and have her to stop spreading her legs, well, that's wishful thinking, because that ain't going to happen. Because you have no power to change anybody. The only power we have is to change ourselves. And as I've mentioned before, change doesn't come easy. It's very difficult. It takes diligence every day, putting your best foot forward, so to speak, and keep moving forward. Even if it's a slow crawl, you still want to keep moving forward. So if they cheat on you, don't feel that it's your fault, because it's not. It's their fault. They're the ones with the problem, and they're the ones that are just showing that they're weak, that they just give in to temptation. So don't blame, if you're out there and you're, again, I don't want to say your girl because she don't belong to you, but the woman you've been with, if she's cheated on you, she's the one with the problems, not you. She's the one who has to deal with the repercussions, whether it's a unwanted pregnancy or STDs or whatever else. If she wants to jump from bed to bed for the rest of her life, I legitimately don't care. It's better to know these things than to lie to yourself and convince yourself that, no, that's not true. She would never do that. When you have that kind of thinking, odds are she's cheating on you. I watched a very interesting video on YouTube where it was entitled, "All Women Are Sluts." Now again, I know not all women are sluts, but most of them are. And when you accept this truth that most women are sluts, it helps you to deal with them better. It makes sense why they do the things they do, because they're sluts. That's why they do what they do. It's just the way this world is now. It's not your fault, but at the same time, you don't have to tolerate it or put up with it. Never put up with the cheating woman. If she's cheating on you, and if she did it once, she's doing it again. And women are single when you're not around. She'll give you a kiss, she'll claim she loves you. Right when she goes out that door, she'll take her ring off, put it in her pocket, because when you're not around, she's always single. Most women, again not all, but most women, or I should say today's modern woman, always are single. They're always looking for the bigger, better deal. The higher branch on the tree, so to speak, that they can swing up it like a monkey. It's a tactic called monkey branching, and it's just basic female hypergamy. Female biology 101. It's just how they're wired. It's just how they think. So if she gets with you and you turn out into a weak beta male, she, like all women, will be repelled by a weak man. Because a woman wants a man that's solid, that's strong, that doesn't put her as top priority. A sure good way to lose a woman is to make you your top priority, because she will despise you over it. She will not respect you, because that's weak beta male mentality. As I mentioned in the last video, you don't ever want to put a woman as priority number one. I mentioned how she should be at least number 3. Well, I'd say she should be more like number 5, because you need other things in your life. And if you operate with this mentality, the blue pill mentality, that a woman completes you, well, you're never going to be completed, because there ain't no woman out there that's going to complete you. You have to be complete within yourself. You have to be whole, W-H-O-L-E, in yourself. And when you're to that level, then you're ready for a woman. But at the same time, you better watch it, because these women today cannot be trusted. They will lie to you, especially if they're a seasoned liar. They will look you in the eyes and look all sincere and just lie through their teeth. They'll just, because they have everything to gain from lying. But the problem with lies is time. Time is the biggest enemy of lies. Because eventually, in time, all lies will be revealed to be the truth. Now, some lies come out in this life, other lies come out later. But eventually, every lie every person said will be shown to be a lie. So that's why you don't want to lie. And especially with relationships, truth is always the best policy. Now, it would have been better if the ex-wife would have told me these things herself, rather than hearing through them through the grapevine, but word does get around. And again, looking back in retrospect, I can see these things now. But at the time, apparently I was so dumb and blinded and in love. Reminds me of the saying, people say, where love is blind. Well, it is. You tend to neglect or kind of put the blinders on yourself like they have on the horses, because kind of the truth is so ugly, you don't want to face it. Like a good example is with the New World Order, the Bilderberg group, how they want to literally kill most of humanity, enslave the rest. And it's a pretty gruesome plan. And most people it's too hard to swallow because of the gruesomeness of it, the just cold, heartless murder and attitude that they have. So most people say, well, no, that's not the plan, when actually it is. And they plan on you not accepting the truth because it's too far out there. Similarly with this ex-wife and just seeing how big of a whore she was. It's not that she turned into a whore. She was always like that to begin with. And now I see it. So, what is it? It's Saturday night right now. So come Sunday, or not Sunday, but Monday, I'm going to go downtown to the health clinic, get myself tested, and all this is going to make her look terrible in divorce court. And I guess that's a good thing behind it. And it's a good thing I found out after 2 years, because I could definitely say within the last year, I know she's been cheating, but odds are she's been cheating since day one. Because I've also heard stories where she would be overly friendly and flirtatious with security guards at work when she worked day shift. I would hear, and then it makes me mad, why didn't anybody tell me about this? It's like, tell me the truth. It might be a bitter pill to swallow, but I would rather have the truth about these things than to deceive myself and convince myself everything's fine and she's this faithful, trustworthy woman when the exact opposite is true. You don't do yourself any favors when you lie to yourself. So that's something you don't want to do, because once the truth is undeniable, it's like you just shot yourself in the foot, because you not only knew the truth, but then you denied it. Oh no, she would never do that to me. She would never do that to me. Well, why wouldn't she? Why wouldn't she cheat on you? If she sees a guy with go on YouTube and search gold digger pranks. And it's amazing how many women would just leave a guy they've been with for 5 years, 10 years, whatever, just because a guy has an expensive car. They'll completely disregard everything you've ever done for them when they see that bigger, better deal, or the BBD. It's, again, it's just how females work. And these are the things we need to teach our sons growing up, so that when they become of age, that they're not played like fools by these women. Because most women operate from the same playbook, where they'll play the victim and they will... I've heard this saying too. It says to marry patterns, not potential. A pattern is a proven way of life that the woman has done. The same pattern. A good example is the ex-wife. Whether her baby's daddy domestically abused her or not, I don't know, but probably not. So she filed a PPO on him, personal protection order. She kicked him out of his house, and then she brought me into the house, and I was having sex with her, and she was cheating on him with me. And then I found out that she brought some other guy over there the following day. Now, she claimed she didn't have sex with him, but when he left, he did. He claimed he did. I don't know if he was lying or she was lying, but odds are, who knows? Like I said, looking back at it, I can just see it clearly now, but at the time, you don't see it. But there was that gut instinct. We always got to listen to that gut instinct, because 9 times out of 10, that gut instinct is right. When you sense something's off in the relationship, that's normally because there is something off. So you need to start asking questions. You need to start facing these truths that, and I'm sure I'm not the only one out there who their ex-wife has cheated on them, and I'm probably sure there's a lot worse stories than mine. So I've been, my best friend says I've been handling it pretty well, and that's because I'm just ready. It's like, I don't care how ugly the truth is, just give it to me. Because at this point, it doesn't much matter anymore. I just would like to see how the truth plays out in this. Because when you know the truth, and you accept the truth and embrace the truth, then, and again, it isn't instantly, but then there'll be comfort. Then there will be peace. Even though how ugly that truth is. So, like I said earlier, how 75% of the time, when a woman files for divorce, she already has a guy on the side. So after she filed for divorce, then this guy, his name is Rob, I don't know his last name, but if you're watching Rob, like I said, you better enjoy your turn, because I don't know if it's over, because I found out last night, she spent the night, slept with another guy, a different guy whose name I won't mention, and I knew she would have more than one person she cheated on or bring home, because she did that to her ex. And one of the earlier videos I made was, if she did it to her ex, she'll do it to you. How she treats her ex is a great visual example of how she'll treat you. So she's had a no contact order on me because she claims I domestically abused her, when in fact I just bumped her trying to get away from her. She fell down, hurt her leg a little, and then boo-hoo and tried to milk it for all it's worth. But now all this truth coming out that she's a dirty whore, she pretty much ruined that victim card that she liked to play. It's now people can say who the real victim is. And I'm not here whining or a boo-hoo story. And I don't mind sharing personal incidences or accounts if it's going to help young men out there to avoid these mistakes that I have. And I'll tell you, fellas, I will never be married again. Because marriage is a sham. It's a scam. It benefits the woman in every way, shape, and form. So again, it's a lot to swallow when you find out your ex was nothing but a dirty, cheating whore. But again, it's better to know these things. It may not seem like it at the time, but it's better to know than to convince yourself that they were this decent, kind person. Because most of the time, when we date a person, we create an ulterior person of who we'd like them to be. It's kind of like on the framework of reality, we build a fantasy. And we fantasize about how this person ought to be. Our ideals, we tend to push and project onto that person. When it's all said and done, that person was just in our head. That person never existed. They were never real. It was all in our head. So that's a form of self-deception, and we can't be doing that to ourselves, fellas, because that is being our own worst enemy. So this is I know it's a rather longer video, but like I say, I'm shooting from the heart, and talking about these things definitely helps the situation. It's, I don't know, it is what it is. So, I mean, I know I'm not a whore, and I know when you whore around, you don't feel good about yourself. How are you going to feel good about yourself doing that? When I actually heard about the ex-wife's incident last night, there was like this dirty, repulsive feeling I had inside like my stomach and chest. It it's just gross. And to think, I actually used to be with that, and it's, it's a lot to swallow. So that concludes the video for tonight. But, if you've had similar experiences, feel free to comment, to, share your story. Because we as men, we need to stick together, and we can't let these hoes play us like fools.